Hi, my name is Paul and I like to go places, and in this video we're going to be going places in my Jeep Rubicon. Right now I'm up on the Okanagan Connector on some of the decommissioned logging roads off of the Sunset Main exit, and I'm just going to see if there's any spots that I can get to, which I haven't been able to get to before back when I was off-roading a Toyota Camry like an idiot. So yeah, this should be fun. So first thing, we're going to take a look at some of the changes I've made to the Jeep so far. I do have the rough country steering stabilizer. That was a fairly cheap upgrade. I figured, I just might as well do it. It looked like it was the factory one that was still in there, and after like almost 20 years, those parts I'm sure are a little worn out, so I figured, what the heck, I'd just buy the aftermarket one and install it. Pretty simple, so that was a relatively cheap and simple upgrade to do, just for the sake of doing it and getting some wrench time on the Jeep. So the next change I've made is the rough country cold air intake. Well, technically it says it's a cold air intake, but yeah, the nature of this design isn't so great. And I realize that this particular sort of upgrade is mostly pointless on a Jeep, to be honest. So when you look at the stock air intake system, I mean, I think that is more than adequate to handle your needs. I decided to do this for a couple reasons, and I'll explain them. I am planning on getting the BBK Performance throttle body, which has not arrived yet. The intake arrived first, so I figured I might as well just get it over with, but when the throttle body does come in, I'll have to obviously pull that back up and replace the throttle body. So because I was already going to do the throttle body upgrade, I figured I might as well see if having this intake does anything over the stock one. I'm really not expecting any sort of difference at all. I figure if I could get like an extra 1 or 2 horsepower, I'll take it, I don't really care. But the other reasons that that I wanted to get this intake is I want to basically just squeeze every last bit of power out of this motor, mainly because when I come to places like where I am right now, I actually have to drive over like a mountain summit to get here, and it's very high elevation. This thing isn't the fastest, and it kind of struggles to go up some of these mountain passes that I have to drive in order to get places like this. So I decided that the air intake, I mean, honestly, I don't see it being any worse than what was on there before. So, I figure if this will help me get over these mountain passes any easier, then I'm just going to spend the money. But I will talk a little bit about this specific intake, the rough country one. This was, I believe, 150 American dollars. Since I'm in Canada, I paid more than that in my currency. I can't remember exactly what it was, but to be honest, I have a hard time considering that a good investment, even though this, I think, is the absolute cheapest cold air intake you can get for the Jeep TJ. There's a lot of ones out there that are much better, better design, better looking. They're way more money, and I did not want to spend that much money on an upgrade that probably wasn't going to actually benefit me that much. But if you were serious about getting a cold air intake, I'll be honest, I don't think the rough country is the one to go. It's definitely a budget choice, and there's a few specific problems with this particular product. One being, even though they give you 2 of these clamps here, you have to actually reuse the original clamp from your intake, because the other one of these, it doesn't clamp down like tight enough on the bottom here. Like, it's a known thing. People complain about it in forums and stuff, and it's the wrong clamps are still included in the product, so that's kind of ridiculous. But another thing is this piece of metal, you have to like bend it yourself to like actually fit around the piping tightly, because when it's in the when you receive it in the box, it's like nowhere near being able to kind of like tighten up on the piping here. So yeah, that, and this giant gap here. I'm not too keen on that, or the fact that this does not actually touch the hood. So I mean, it's got like this little insulation around it, but the hood doesn't actually physically touch it. So yeah, what's the point in that? And another thing, the filter that I received is not actually a proper fit for the pipe. I mean, like, you could tighten the hell out of the clamp, and I mean, sure, it'll grip it, but you can see here, like, I've got this like rubber lining that I had left over from working on the back of the Jeep here, and I put a ring of that between the pipe and the filter. Like, that's how much room there was still in there for me to slide that in and then tighten the clamp on top of that, so I could get, well, as airtight as I could on that install. So and if you're looking for, you know, instructions on how to install this, there's people who've made videos on it. It's very simple. It comes with some instructions that aren't bad, but you know, this is the absolute cheapest one, and I don't necessarily think it was worth the money, but I wasn't going to pay more for a product that I don't think really benefits Jeep owners that much. Well, especially on this motor. It might be different for different motors, but yeah. So yeah, if you're really wanting a cold air intake, honestly, I'd look at some of the other brands. But if you're on like a strict budget, then yes, the Rough Country is probably the way to go. So yeah. And the last thing, which is something I actually did right before I left on my road trip today, is I changed the transmission fluid in the NSG 370 here. I don't know what kind of oil was in there before, but what I wanted to do was try the Royal Purple Synchromax to see if it would smooth out that 1 to 2 shift, which is notorious as being a little bit notchy on this transmission. So far it does seem smoother shifting. I don't think it's necessarily a night and day difference, but I think it was better than before. And I mean, I have no idea how old the oil that was in there had been in there. So yeah, it's basically just a maintenance item for me anyway. So yeah. Anyway, what I think we're gonna do now is try to do a little bit of off-roading. So stay tuned. All right, so I'm just kind of crawling along here on the road to get to, oh man, Reservoir Lake wreck site. And this is one that I tried to get to in my dirt bike before, but ran into like a river across the road and just kind of gave up. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can make it here today. So this road is extremely rough, and I'm actually just still in too high right now. I basically just require the clearance, and as soon as it, well, if it gets muddy further up, then I'm gonna have to change into 4 high. But yeah, it's just slow going, but the Jeep really handles this this road pretty easily. Just kind of chugging along in first gear here. Oh my god. Yeah, this is definitely a very tough road, if you could even call it a road at this point. But yeah. Okay, so we're kind of getting into some of the muddier areas on this road here. So what I think we're gonna do is put it in 4 high just in case, and let's go. Yeah, easy stuff. Oh man. You know, this I'm like all over the, oh geez, I can't even talk because I'm all over the place, but let me tell you, this is fun, and if you're watching this and you don't own a Jeep TJ, go buy one. Oh, and here we go. This is actually the spot that I stopped at when I had the dirt bike up here, because I wasn't going to try dirt biking across this. Anyway, I'm not sure how deep this is. It's obviously not really a problem for a Jeep, so let's go for it. Yeah, that was easy stuff, no problem. And more mud. All right. So I'm not actually sure how far we still have to go here, because I've never been out this far before, so yeah, I'll see what else we've got coming up here. Okay, so wow, I think I can just slowly creep along up here a bit. There's just like a couple large rocks I'd kind of want to avoid, maybe. And then I think if I go up along, who the hell knows? Anyway, yeah, let's go for it. All right, we're ready for some fun. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Hopefully the camera footage looks okay. I couldn't really pay attention to what the GoPro was really looking at while I was trying to drive, but... Oh, hey, look, I made it. Oh, there's other people here too. Wow. Now, you tell me, do you think this would be a nice place to camp? Yeah, I think so. So this is Reservoir Lake. You know, I really should have brought the inflatable kayak with me. I didn't really think about that, but yeah. Very, very nice and peaceful here. And aside from the one camp that I just passed, I wouldn't have actually expected to see anyone here, so yeah. I think I'm probably just going to take a brief break, and then we're going to head back and see what else we can find. Okay, so I'm under where the power lines are, off of, I think it's the Sunset Main Road, and where I'm going is somewhere that I featured in one of my dirt bike videos, where I couldn't go any further because there was like a lake in the road. Anyway, what I'm going to try doing is making there in the Jeep. So let's see how this goes. This isn't even a road at all, it's just me driving through the forest, I guess. Okay. It's gonna be pretty steep and rocky here. And I may have to I wonder if I should even actually do this because it's going to be such a tight fit. All right, I'm going for it, and I also figured out how to get it into for low. So yeah, we're just going to basically be crawling along here. This is pretty steep terrain and very rocky, so holy crap. Yeah. Oh my God. Come on. Let's see which way I should go over here. Probably up this section here. Big ass rock in the way. Oh my God. Wow, this is very rocky, very steep. Oh shit. You know what? I don't know if I will actually fit up there. Damn. Yeah, okay, no, I came to my senses. This isn't like an actual road or anything as far as I know. It's just, I don't know, I just saw it on the satellite. It goes near an area called Hidden Lake. So it's not actually a road to the lake, but it's just kind of like a path that goes close to it. I forgot how narrow this was because I was originally coming up here with my dirt bike, and you know, it was fine on the dirt bike, except it was very steep and very rocky, so I had to use the 4 low on the Jeep, and it was making it up there. Pretty rough, but yeah, once it started to get like extremely narrow, I may try that eventually, but yeah, with all the debris on the sides there, I mean, even backing it back down, I was coming close to like hitting all the stumps and bits of trees and stuff like that. So I think I will maybe try that at a later date when I am a little more used to the Jeep and its handling ability. So yeah. Anyway, I think we still have plenty of light left in the day. It's only the afternoon, so I'm going to keep driving around and see what else I can show you. What are you doing? Excuse me, sir. Can I help you? Hey, what are you doing? That's dirt. You don't want the dirt. Okay, so I was on Comstock Road, and then I detoured onto another road, and then I detoured onto another road, and I straight up have no idea where I am. But this is passable in the Jeep, so I'm just gonna keep on. Jeez. Oh, holy crap. Holy shit. Okay. Like I was saying, I'm going to keep on following this because we're just going like straight up, and at some point I think we'll come to the top of a mountain maybe. So yeah, I'll see what where this goes. All right, I think we've pretty much reached the end of whatever this road was. I guess it was just an old logging road, because there's logging that has gone on up here, I guess some time ago. So anyway, it's getting into the evening now, and I think we're going to start losing the light. And I'm getting attacked by bugs, and I think I'm just going to probably grab another drink from Merit and some gas, and then head back to Kelowna. So, yeah, I think this was a successful outing, and I'm very pleased with how the Jeep handles the off-road terrain. So, very glad I bought it, and got a lot of work to do on it still. I got another Rock Auto order coming in tomorrow, and a lot of maintenance I'll be doing. And I don't know if you could hear it, but I think it's the clutch throw-out bearing or something like that. It's yeah, it makes an annoying sound when you're kind of going slow in like first gear. So the clutch was apparently done within like the last few years or so, so I don't really want to tear it apart. And the clutch itself seems to work fine. So whenever I do tear the transmission off of the motor and I guess eventually do a clutch, then I'll just replace like everything else in there. Yeah, anyway, I'll just live with it for now. So if you made it this far though, thanks for watching.